Success comes from keeping your mouth shut and your eyes open. I would rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Competition is a sin. I have always tried to turn every disaster into an opportunity. If you want to succeed, you must strike out on new paths. Everything you know about wealth is a lie. You think Elon Musk is rich? You think Jeff Bezos is powerful? Think again. If you combine the fortunes of today's top 3 billionaires, they still wouldn't reach the level of one-man mansions. Meet John D. Rockefeller, the man who owned 90% of the world's oil, bought the US government, and became the world's first billionaire. He didn't just play the game, he owned the board. But his path to the top wasn't paved with luck. It was built on a ruthless blueprint that destroyed everyone in his way. Today, we open the vault. This is the dark, untold story of how one man owned America. The world knows the wealth, but they fear the man. My name is John Davison Rockefeller, and this is the story of how I turned the world black with oil and gold.
In this 19th century dirt, you're either the boot or the mud. I promised my mother I would be the boot.
They see a boy in a cheap suit. I see an empire hidden in these columns of ink. Every cent is a drop of blood.
My father taught me the world is a hunt. He killed the boy in me so the man could survive the Shark Tank. This ledger is my only scripture. In this century of chaos, numbers are the only truth. I will own it all. Everyone was digging for luck. I was digging for a throne. They saw a gamble, I saw a destiny written in black ink. I don't want to compete with you. I don't want to absorb you. In my world, there is no room for second place. Standard Oil isn't just a company. It's a cleansing fire. I will bring order to this chaos, or I will burn it all down. The day of the small man is over. The era of the giant has begun. And I am the biggest giant of them all. Vanderbilt thinks he owns the tracks. But I own what moves on them. I don't fight wars with guns. I fight them with silence. I didn't destroy them. I saved them from their own incompetence. Growth is the only law, and I am the law. 90% of the world's oil flows through my hands. Every lamp on this planet burns because I allow it. I am the heart of the world. I spent the first half of my life making money and the second half trying to give it away. But the world never forgets the man I had to be to get it. They called me a monster. Now they call me a benefactor. But the numbers don't lie. I changed the world before I left it.
John Davison Rockefeller. To some, he was the greatest businessman to ever live. To others, he was a cold-hearted monopolist who crushed anyone in his way. Born into poverty in 1839 and dying as the world's first billionaire in 1937, his life is the ultimate blueprint of American capitalism. This is his documented history. Early life and ledger A. Rockefeller was born in Richford, New York. His father, William "Devil Bill" Rockefeller, was a con artist who was rarely home, while his mother, Eliza, was a deeply religious woman who taught John to save every penny. At just 16 years old, John got his first job as a produce clerk in Cleveland. He carried a small red notebook he called Ledger A. In it, he recorded every single cent he earned, spent, or gave to charity. This obsession with numbers would become his greatest weapon. The birth of Standard Oil in 1863, while the American Civil War was raging, Rockefeller saw an opportunity not in drilling for oil, but in refining it. He built his first refinery, the Excelsior, near Cleveland. He realized the oil industry was chaotic and unpredictable. To bring order, he founded Standard Oil in 1870. His strategy was simple but brutal. Horizontal integration. he would buy out his competitors one by one. If they refused to sell, he would drop his prices so low that they would go bankrupt. The monopoly and the pipeline wars by the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled 90% of all oil refineries and pipelines in the United States. Rockefeller made secret deals with railroad companies to get rebates, meaning he paid less for shipping than his rivals, making it impossible for them to compete. He turned oil into a predictable, high-quality product called Standard Oil, hence the name. But his power became so great that the public began to fear him. He was depicted in newspapers as a giant octopus, wrapping his tentacles around the government. The Supreme Court and philanthropy in 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered it to be broken up into 34 smaller companies, which later became ExxonMobil, Chevron, and BP. Ironically, this made Rockefeller even richer as the individual shares of these companies skyrocketed. In his final decades, Rockefeller's image shifted. Under the guidance of his son and PR experts, he gave away over $500 million. He founded the University of Chicago and the Rockefeller Foundation, revolutionizing modern medicine and education.
I hope you found the incredible journey of the world's first billionaire as fascinating as I did. Wealth is a burden. If his story inspired you or taught you something new, show some love. Hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of dreamers and achievers.